Welcome back to Center Mass Operations Firearms Proficiency course. This period of instruction is we're going to go over the rear sight and the front sight of the AR-15. This particular model, we're using the carrying handle for where the rear sight is mounted. I'm going to step forward so you can get a better look at the system. Basically, if I turn the weapon towards you, if you look at the rear sight, and let me get up a little bit closer so you have a good look at it. If you notice right now, the rear sight, we're looking through the small rear sight aperture. If you flip the sight, if you notice now, we have a large rear sight aperture. When firing from the iron sight like this, most people have a tendency to use the large rear sight aperture. The rear sight aperture is designed for night fire or low visibility. The small rear sight aperture is designed for accuracy. And let me demonstrate something for you. If this be our rear sight, and I'm going to call it the window, all right? We want to look through the window, and then the front sight post comes up, and we want to place that front sight post, I'm going to call that the stick. All right, we want to place that stick in the center of the window. As we're looking through the window, the stick comes up and it is perfectly centered, both vertically and horizontally. Now, if I'm using that large rear sight aperture, that gives me room for error when aligning the stick. However, if I use the small rear sight aperture, once the stick or the front sight post comes in, it almost automatically aligns itself. So taking a look again, the small rear sight aperture, the large rear sight aperture. The small rear sight aperture is for accuracy. That's the window we want to use. Now, turning the weapon back around, if we take a look at the front sight post, let me turn this sideways. All right, this A-frame is our front sight assembly. Basically, all that's doing is giving the height because the rear sight is mounted on the carrying handle. So this is just for elevation of the front sight post or the stick. Now, turning the weapon back around, if you notice, I have a leaf to the left, a leaf to the right, and the stick right in the center. All right. A lot of people have confused the guard, which are the leaves. The only purpose that these leaves have is to protect the front sight post or the stick. The reason why they are curved or bent is so that you do not confuse them with the front sight post. The front sight post is perfectly straight. The guards either bend to the right or bend to the left. When we're aligning the stick in the window, be sure you're looking at the one in the middle. Do not align the one to the left, do not align the one to the right. It's the stick or the post in the middle. That's what goes in the window. Now, when we're acquiring the target, our eye can only focus on one object at a time. And what we're asking for is for you to look through the window, find the stick, put the stick in the window, then place the stick on the target. Once you've got the stick on the target, then you need to focus on the stick. So, looking through the window, find the stick, place the stick in the window, place the stick on the target, then focus on the stick. Now, most people have a tendency to focus on the target. That's what we're shooting at, so we have a tendency to look at what we're shooting at. But remember this, the target has absolutely nothing to do with where the bullet's going. The bullet's going to go where the stick or the front sight post is pointed. So, look through the window, find the stick, place the stick in the window, place the stick on the target, focus on the stick, and squeeze the trigger.